Good morning, good-looking people, and you're good-looking because you're always looking, and of course, you are finding the good in everything and in everybody. Hope you're well, hope you had a great weekend, hope you had a nice Shabbos. Tonight we're doing the Hayom Yom for the 30th of Adar Aleph. Now, just a little bit of information. Typically, when there's a leap year, there will be two Adars. So Adar 1 will have 30 days, and then Adar 2 will have 29 days. In a year where there's no leap year, such as this year, there will only be 29 days of the first Adar. So on the last day of the month, which would be like today, you would read the Hayom Yom for the 29th and the 30th, as well as when you say Tehillim today, you would have said Hayom Yom, you would have said the Tehillim for the 29th and the 30th days. So we're going to read the Hayom Yom for the 30th day of Adar Aleph, and today's Hayom Yom is very powerful, and it's telling us how we have to look at ourselves inward, and we have to make sure that we're really doing what we need to do. That it's one thing to learn Torah, it's one thing to do mitzvahs, it's one thing to do all the right things, but are you really having effect on the people around you? Are you really changing the environment that's around you? Do people look and get affected by your abilities and what you're doing? And that's what the Hayom Yom is saying today, that the Rebbe Rashab was all about that a chassid makes his environment. There were other Hayom Yoms that we talked about that they said, there goes a chassid, there walks a chassid, how we would always know there is a chassid there because we can see him. We can see the way he acts, the way he talks. And the Hayom Yom is saying that it's very important that we look at ourselves and make sure that we need to check our baggage. We need to make sure we're doing great, not only for us, but also for the environment around us. There's a nice note here that the Rebbe talks about a letter from the Rebbe Rayatz, and that there was he wasn't a chassid yet. He was a young man that never studied in yeshiva. He wasn't connected to anything. However, he had this deep connection with the Frierdiker Rebbe, with the Rebbe Rayatz. It says that after a short time of his connection with the Rebbe Rayatz, he moved to a location far away that had no real connection to the Rebbe or anything like that. And there wasn't even really religious people there. It was just a complete different environment. This young guy was so connected to the Frierdiker Rebbe that when he was in his location, he would tell people, we have a Rebbe, and we have this Rebbe, and he's there, and we are to be connected to him, that nobody should make a decision, whether it's for their home, or for their business, or anything else, without consulting with the Rebbe. His words were so pure, and so truthful, and so straight, that the people took him seriously. And it was a matter of time before that entire little village was talking about the Rebbe Rayatz and their connection to the Rebbe Rayatz. And the idea that the Rebbe was bringing in this note is that when somebody is truthful, when somebody is doing something correctly, people identify with that person. People connect with that person. It just automatically rubs off on them. And that we need to make sure that we're setting this right example. We're creating our atmosphere around us. I don't want to use the negative, but it says, if God forbid somebody is not, they really need to check themselves. They need to check their soul. They need to see if that Torah that they're learning, is it coming out? Are you displaying it? Are you using it? And we have to make sure that to focus on our inwards, that we're doing the right thing in order to have an example and help and focus and help the environment around us. Let's read the Hayom Yom for the 30th of Adar Aleph. My revered father, the Rebbe Rashab, once said, a chassid creates his environment. If not, he must carefully check through his own knapsack. He must examine his own spiritual state. The very fact that he is not creating an environment should crush him like a splinter. He should ask himself, what am I doing here in this world? It's very powerful, but let's stay on that positive side, that good-looking side, that we all can work on ourselves, and always remember that we are a shining example. We are a shining star. We are lamplighters. Everywhere we go, we are setting an example. So it's important to encourage the people around us to do Torah mitzvahs, to do tefillin, to light Shabbos candles, to participate in the Shabbos meal, to come to shul, Do something, even if you need to fake it to make it. Do something to make sure you're creating a positive atmosphere and a positive effect on the people around us. Have a great and successful week. Chodesh Tov, it is Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Tonight we'll say Yalav Yavai, as well as tomorrow for the day we'll have Hallel and all the other inserts for Rosh Chodesh Nisan. And we'll talk about that in that Hayom Yom. Have a great and successful and a healthy, wonderful week.